public. One of the items on the agenda last council meeting was regarding public records. We've had numerous inquiries about public records. We've had requests. We've had inquiries why the requests weren't being filled. Because of the numerous requests, I placed the item on the agenda to fill everybody in on the situation. The agenda item was in no way an attack on prior staff. It was an informational piece to provide council an update on where things stood. As you well know, the town clerk is responsible for maintaining the records. The town clerk had a spreadsheet, and that spreadsheet said open public records request. I presented that information from the town clerk's spreadsheet after Mr. Bacon researched with the requesters, many of the requesters, whether those public records were still open. We then found out whether they were considered still open or not. I presented that information to council. Unfortunately, and the policy does state that the clerk must be provided with a copy for record keeping. So the clerk should have had an up-to-date list of those public records that were outstanding. It was stated that the former finance officer handed me a folder with her outstanding public records request. In no way was I to understand that that was all the open public records requests for the town. So in suggesting that I was trying to say something against the prior staff, I was trying to inform the council with the facts regarding the numbers of public records requests. That was simply it. There was nothing else that should be read into that. And
Ms. Weaver, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm being told that there were public records that were already filled that were on that list. Well, if the town clerk listed it as open and we did not have any records we found a cardboard box under a credenza that had public records that had been filled. They were not filed, they were in a box, and we just happened to look in the box to see that they were filled public records requests, and in those requests were no copies of these records being filled. So for us to know otherwise, we were presented with an insurmountable task when we started, considering there was no staff, and we're doing the best we can. We're not going to say we're perfect. There are going to be issues, and we appreciate everybody's patience as we work through these issues. We're going to make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, but this was just an informational piece, and it was not an attack on anybody. And like I said, the clerk is responsible for those records, so somebody telling me that the finance officer is giving information really does not mean anything to me, considering the clerk is responsible for those records, not the finance officer.